You had a corporate role when you decided that you wanted to become a mum and have a family of your own. So tell me, what made you decide to start a business during that time?
So I was feeling disillusioned with corporate life. I was in a role that spanned lots of different departments. So I had what I was told was one of the top three projects to bring to life. And it didn't feel like that, like the politics and the
Yeah.
craziness internally. And I was just like, what am I doing this for? You know, I'm putting all of this, I was burning myself out. I was putting all of me into this. And I thought, there's more to life. I just felt like I wanted to help women like me. I was going through fertility struggles. I was seeing all these wonderful ladies going off, having their babies, coming back, working part time. And for want of a better word, I was picking up after some of them. And I don't mean that in a
Mm,
horrible way, because part time is really tough. We don't support mothers returning back to the workplace correctly. But I was finding I was this person that was picking up the things that were urgent when other people weren't there. And I had this project that was meant to be important, but it didn't feel like it was being resourced, like it was important. And I just thought, oh my goodness, this is, yeah, I'm burning myself out here. And what is it all for? And I thought I can make more of a difference. And I was using complementary therapies myself. And I decided to go down that route. I wanted a calmer life. I wanted a life that I would feel comfortable in when I got to have my family. So I trained while I was still working. I asked to go down to 4 days. I kind of knew I'd end up still working 5 days. I think I'd have better boundaries now if I was in this situation. But I was still doing all the work, getting paid 20% less. And I was, yeah, stressed. So in the end, I kind of had to leave
mm,
before I had my baby. I left and I was a reflexologist. I trained in, as I said, while I was on this 4 day week. I just knew I could train in a year and start my business. So I left this lovely salary. But I wanted a better life and I
yeah.
wanted to go back to IVF and feel like I was doing it properly rather than fitting it in with all the other
Mm,
pressures of life. So that's what I did. But I talk about it in my book. I still didn't have the right mindset. So I was living a different life, but I was still holding myself to old rules and beliefs of what success is and the beliefs that I didn't have time to take from myself, that it still had to be um, a business that was successful quickly. So,
mm,
although the true purpose of leaving corporate, what I did was to do a really lovely round of IVF where I was focused on that and my well-being and doing all the things to support myself. And I was still trying to build a business rather than focusing on the IVF and letting the business come more naturally, more easily, and take its time to be where I wanted it to be. So that was really interesting digging into that later on. Obviously, not while I was doing the fertility
yeah.
treatment, but realizing when I went through coaching myself that that's what I'd been doing wrong, that my mindset and I think this is really common. You might leave your old career behind, but has your mindset changed with it? Like you
Yeah.
kind of need to do the work. You need to do the inner work. And actually, that's what I love to do with mums is, okay, what's your vision? What is real success? How does it feel? Not just what is it in terms of money or house or car or, whatever job title. How do you want to feel? And what are you really trying to achieve? What's behind all of that sort of patriarchal or modern day conditioning? Like, what do you really want in life right now? This is one time in life. You can have the other things later. What's your key now, your key focus now? So mine was to get pregnant.
Hmm.
um, and I wasn't really allowing myself to live the life that I said I wanted. And we feel like this when we become mums, the split of, but I want all of this stuff that means I'm successful, but then I want all of this stuff that gives me joy and happiness. And it's almost like there's two types of success and we're trying to have them both. You can have them both, but your mindset has to be Right. You need to be really clear and confident on what you're really going after right now.